What's that burning smell?
Burning, you mind? It's a traditional dish. Called fried eggs stuck to the bottom of the pan.
Can you eat it?
I take it you prefer cereal, dear.
After shift. What time do you train?
11:15.
Now go easy with your dad. No rows, no problems.
No way.
Just give him a lot of love. Half of it from me. And don't feel you have to hurry back.
Well, first you criticise my cooking, then you say you don't want me back. It's a great start to the day, isn't it? How are you, Dad?
Trouble.
How is she?
She's very ill.
Go to the hospital then, eh?
I've just come from it. I'm on my way home.
Well, there's a taxi.
I can walk.
We'll take a taxi, Dad.
Well, if you've got money to burn.
You look tired, Dad.
Well, I've been up with her 4 nights. You want a beer?
Fancy a cup of tea, actually.
Well, you can make that. I'll just have a couple of beers and then I'll lay down for a bit.
Then we'll go to the hospital. We'll go to the hospital after you've had a nap, eh?
Tell me, Summit. Why did you really come?
What do you mean? Of course I come.
The visits you've paid us, I can count on me 2 hands.
Now, we've been through all that before.
Maybe to your satisfaction, not to mine.
Now, don't be like that, Dad. I wanted to come.
You've never shown that much interest in your stepmother?
Look, it's just that... Well, it took me a long time to get used to the idea that when my mum died, you remarried a touch too fast.
No. Or remarried a touch too low.
Oh, well, no, that's not true either. You know it. Look, I may be 100 rotten things, but I'm not a snob.
Well, Mary always... She's dying, Tom. You're her stepmother. And I'm not at all sure I want you here.
Well, I'd like to stay. But sleep on it. And if you want me to, I'll go. Thank you.
Massive cerebral hemorrhage.
Was my father there when it happened?
Yes, he was. Of course, you're not supposed to move the patient. He did. Now, he knows he shouldn't have moved her, and that's upset him a bit. Oh, we're doing all we can. We must just wait for nature to take its course. We can't predict when she'll come round. But it doesn't look too good, Tom.
Can I...
Excuse me.
Can I start me down? Is he physically okay?
Oh, yes, yes. Of all our merry band of volunteers, nobody puts in more hours than he does. A year ago, we had a house father and mother who were both injured in a car crash. It's hell's own job finding replacements. But your dad insisted on stepping in helping to look after 11 children for a month, driving, cooking, doing everything for them.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, it knocked him out a bit afterwards, not unnaturally, but normally he's got the constitution of a horse.
I didn't even know he could cook.
Oh, yes. He can do anything when he sets his mind to it. No, it's never his physical fitness I'm worried about. It's more his psychological state.
And what's that?
Well, it's hard to explain, but somehow, you know, he's a deeply unhappy man. Now, there are people like him. Mary gives him the home life and apparent security, but he's the sort who'll never be content, who never feels that he's really got to grips with his life. Feels that he's never achieved enough.
And what happens if Mary dies?
I don't know. Maybe the rugged individualist will come unstuck. I'll tell you something, though. Your father has given his all to this hospital. And if Mary goes, I just want to say, you'll never be short of friends here.
How long have I been asleep?
3:30, he dozed off about 1:45.
Got to get back to hospital.
I've been.
You've been?
Yeah, a quick visit. I didn't want to wake you.
Any change?
No. I saw Dr. Maven. He says you're the best volunteer worker the hospital's ever had.
He's entitled to his opinion.
You haven't eaten, Dad?
No,
I thought we might go out and eat tonight, eh?
I don't eat out. Who can afford restaurants? All I take evenings is a sandwich and a pint. They'll give me that at the hospital. You go to your restaurant
Oh, I wanted to be with you, Dad.
some other time. Oh, you go your own way. You'll find a key at the front door and that bar's there.
Right. Oh, by the way, have you still got that old bike in the shed?
Expect so,
Well, can I use it?
if you like. Goodbye.
How long are you going to be at the hospital, then?
God knows.
No, I mean, are you going to be home at all tonight?
Now, look, son, if you come here to visit me, to spend your time chatting and socialising, you've come at the wrong time, son. You've got a dying wife. I'll be back or I won't be back, and I don't know when.
And send this report to HQ marked for the attention of Mr. Hallam.
Right, ma'am.
Oh, and I've had confirmation that Renshaw can go on the driving course. So would you like to tell him the good news?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Gallagher's back from his walking tour today, isn't he?
If you call a 24-hour stroll on the moors a tour, ma'am, yes.
Actually, I'm a bit concerned about him. Twice when I talked to him last week, I sensed... he seems a bit distrayed, does young Davy. Any idea why?
No, ma'am.
Not holding back on me, are you, Sergeant?
No, ma'am.
Do you still think he's a good copper?
He's a reasonable lad, basically sound.
I think so.
He's a bit loud, you know. That's the Scots background. A bit quick with an opinion, a bit off on the humour like. But we think well enough of him.
You, George, and the others in this station know more gossip than the CIA. You must know the form on Gallagher.
Well, now you mention it, he did say something to one of the lads thought he'd had about a transfer.
Transfer? But he's hardly just arrived from Strathclyde.
Yes, ma'am.
Get your ear to the ground, Joseph, see what you can find out. Oh, and when Gallagher comes in, ask him to see me.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you, lad?
OK, Gerald.
Still living off the immoral earnings of the police?
Aye, something like that.
It's been a long time, Tom. Country's in a worse bloody state than when we last met. You got anything to do with that?
No, Gerald.
Well, I wouldn't give you a fiver for the whole of the United Kingdom. Well, it's back to my penthouse. So do you feel like a walk, a talk, and hit the pubs at appropriate hour?
Well, I could do with a bite to eat.
Sandwich or something more substantial?
I haven't eaten since breakfast.
Then it's Britley's answer to the Savoy drill. Come on, lad.
Gerald?
Hello.
Sir, would you care to order, please?
Well, for me, chicken korma, please.
With chips or rice?
Oh, with rice.
Come on, Tom. You're being a snob. I bet you want it with chips.
No, I don't. I want it with rice.
Half a tandoori chicken with chips.
Any vegetable?
Not for me, thanks, no.
Yes, please. Dal, bindi, and a couple of naan.
Thank you, Mr. Gerald.
Oh. Yes, you're right. I wouldn't have preferred chips. We haven't ordered any drink.
No, we don't have to. He knows we're only here for the beer. How long are you down for?
A couple of days. Just depends how it goes with Mary.
How is your stepmother?
Not good.
How's your dad taking?
But he's very upset.
You know, I see quite a lot of him.
Yeah?
Twice a week, chess club, St. Thomas's Old People's Home. He organises it. And I get threatening phone calls from him if I don't turn up.
Dr. Maidment was saying he's very useful at the hospital.
Well, he may be very charitably disposed towards the hospital, but when he's talking about you...
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
Did you never get on, even as a child?
I don't know. No, we didn't, no. No, it's as if he'd built a very solid wall between us. All my life I've thought, well, one day he'll take it down. I'll give him time, but... seems to be putting up more stones, making it stronger.
Rather a complex simile.
No, it's not a simile, it's the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Cheers. Well, good health.
Sup up, lad.
By God, that's a nice drop of stuff, isn't it?
I told her so. So, how's the work?
Well, you know what I'm doing?
Oh, your dad's always on about you and the social services.
And what does he say about it?
Don't you know?
Not really.
Well, all sorts of things.
Well, come on, give us an example.
You two really don't communicate, do you?
Come on, what does he say about me, Joe?
Well, he feels the same way as I do, Tom, about what you've done with your life. By the way, this is my treat to social workers and less than teachers, I believe.
What do you mean he feels the same way as you do?
Oh, later, Tom, when we've eaten and I've drunk enough Dutch courage, eh?
Come in. Oh, David, sit down, please. I'd like to talk with you. You still happy here?
Yes, Mum.
Sure.
Yeah?
There seems to be an opinion in general circulation that recently your mind's not on the job.
But it is, Mum.
It's not what I hear, David. Is there anything troubling you here? Any problems with the other men?
No, Mum.
Is it a problem at home?
No, Mum.
Trouble with a girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend, Mum.
I'll ask you again. Sergeants Beck and Parrish would likely have noticed any problems here. So is it a problem at home?
No, Mum. Yes, Mum.
Now, come on, David. If there's some worry you're bringing in here from home that's taking your mind off your work, I must know what it is. So what is it?
Well, it's my stepfather, Mum.
Yes?
Well, you know what? I transferred here because my mother remarried Harry Bentham and Hartley. Well, I'm not getting on with my stepfather. That's putting it mildly. We've big rows all the time. And my mother keeps taking his side in the arguments. Well, I only came here because she came here. And Well, I'm thinking of asking for another transfer. I thought maybe I could go back to Glasgow.
A transfer? You've only just got here. Who told you could bounce around from one police force to another like a yo-yo?
No one, Mum.
Now, come on, David, let's have it. What's been going on?
Well, for a start, my mother's unhappy.
How's that?
Well, since they married, he behaves different. His meals have got to be in time, he's tight with money, and even he goes out with his mates.
Well, that's like a lot of men, David, and a lot of marriages. What about these rows between you and him? What are they about?
I don't know. Well, sometimes they're about nothing.
You all live together, right?
Yeah. Well, some regular. Well, he just comes in and takes right against me. Before I know where it is, it's a shouting match.
Have you asked what's upsetting him?
I can't talk to him. It's impossible.
All right. Thank you for telling me. But you can't run around getting transferred from one place to another.
If I can't have this sorted out, I may have to leave the force altogether, Mum.
Oh, come on. That's a bit extreme.
I don't know if it is. Sorry to bother you with my family problems.
Well, don't worry yourself on that score. Everybody's got family problems. I've had them. My husband's got them at the moment. But you're too good a copper to lose because of some domestic trouble. We'll talk again later.
Thank you.
Can't remember my father being right about anything. Anything in his life to do with me. Where do you think he got it right?
But he agrees with me.
And where does he agree with you?
Now, Luke, Tom, you had me for years as a schoolmaster. You must have had enough of my opinions.
No.
When did I first teach you?
Form 2. Taught me history, then maths.
I remember you hated school.
Oh, no, when you were teaching.
You were a star pupil. You hated school. Everything was so easy for you and so hard for everyone else. You sailed through everything. A 13-year-old with a guilt complex because everything was so easy.
Guilt? I wouldn't have known what it was at 13, would I?
So everything was easy. But you couldn't get it to add up.
Add up to what?
Add up to life, Tom. With your talents, you could have done anything.
Oh, come on, Gerald, get off.
Really? You should have gone to university and been something.
What do you mean, being something?
Tom, you're fooling around at the butt end of society with people who can't get it to work. You had a first-class mind. I put a lot of effort into you. You've forgotten.
No, I haven't. I haven't forgotten.
Once in every 5 years or so, you get a star pupil. I gave you extra lessons, extra attention, extra encouragement, extra help. For what? When I was a lad, I was a star pupil. And I wasted my opportunities, exactly like you've wasted yours. And that angers me, because I should have stopped you doing.
Hello?
Hello, sweetheart. How are things?
Fine, thanks. How's Mary?
Still unconscious. The doctor says it's still touch and go.
What about your dad?
That's good.
And how are you?
Thoughtful. The natives haven't been too friendly.
Thoughtful about what?
Ah, Jean, I've got to make my mind up about this course in Dover. I've got to make the decision while I'm up here.
Okay.
I mean, it's really down to what the hell I'm going to do with my life, Britley's where it all started for me.
Okay. Well, you know, whatever you decide, I'll go along with it.
Ah, but whatever I decide... My dad's just come in. I better ring off, love.
Shall I have a word with him?
No, I don't think that's a good idea. He's not in the mood for talking to anybody. Look, I'll phone you tomorrow. God bless. How is she, Dad?
Well, the doctor seems a bit more confident.
Good.
Certainly her colour's better. He might be coming round, but he says not to get too excited about it.
Do you want a drink? Cup of tea?
No, no, Tom.
You want to talk?
No. Now she's shown an improvement, I think I might be able to get a good night's rest. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, good night, Dad.
Oh, by the way, I met your old girlfriend, Nikki.
Taylor?
Aye. Placed her here in town. Says she might give you a ring in the morning.
Oh, dear. Hello?
Tom?
Yes?
Nicky?
Hello?
How are you?
All right.
Doing anything for lunch?
No?
Could we meet?
Now look, Nikki, I don't know if...
You don't know what?
Well, I'm up here to see my dad, actually, not really to socialise.
Socialise? I only want to get a look at you.
Look, I'm a happily married man, Nikki. Hmm?
It doesn't sound like you, Tom Darby, hiding behind a woman's skirts.
All right, well, I'll meet you the Three Horseshoes, all right?
Right, say 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Nikki,
Hello, Tom.
what would you like to drink?
A gin and tonic, please.
A gin and tonic. Thank you. Oh. Oh, you're looking good.
It's years since I've last seen you. You've aged.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I mean, you've always had craggy good looks, but I think you're taking it a stage too far. More crags, less looks.
Once again. How much is that?
65 pence, please.
Sure, thank you.
Okay.
Well, we should sit down.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been a long time, Tom.
So what have you been up to?
What, your dad's never told you?
No.
He's never mentioned me.
No?
Well, I see him around, I talk to him.
Well, he's never said.
Well, I got married and I got divorced, almost in the same breath. I'm living with an old mate of yours, George Beale. He's got his own garage now.
Georgie Beale? Hey, how is he?
First, ask how I am.
All right.
I still miss you. Still in love with you. I sometimes wonder how on earth I let you out of my clutches. To marry a policewoman? I mean, if it wasn't so tragic, it'd be a laugh. Apart from that, I'm okay.
Good.
This morning on the telephone, I got the impression you didn't want to see me. Why?
Well, you know how it is. I mean, Hartley's only 70 miles from here. Somebody walks into this nice little cosy pub and sees us and, well, somehow word gets back to Jean, isn't it?
I just don't see it. Tom Darby, completely under a woman's thumb. What a shame.
No, not under the thumb. I just care very much about my wife and her feelings. Not so insensitive to know that feelings can be hurt very easily.
Good for you. There aren't many champions of marital propriety around these days. She's a lucky girl.
So why did you want to see me then?
Oh, chat, talk, gossip. You know, we haven't completely forgotten your existence, Tom. Quite a few folk around here still remember you.
But what do you really want, Nicky?
Well, I always felt you left in rather a hurry. Not an indecent hurry, but, well, I never really got the chance to talk things over with you before you were gone. I suppose I've been thinking about what I would have said over these years.
Oh, go on.
No, it's nothing, really. Though I do blame you sometimes.
Blame me for what?
For why I got married. Well, it was on the rebound from you. And I can blame you for getting divorced. Because him and me, well, we were never going to be like us. You know and I know. It would have worked. Us married.
I don't know.
So, you've ended up in the back end of nowhere, married to a uniform. Hartley? Wasn't it supposed to be New York or Paris?
No, it wasn't. I never said anything about New York or Paris in my life.
I want to give you something. I came across them the other day. You know I kept every letter anybody ever wrote me. Well, here's a few you wrote when you left Britley. They're all about you, your ambitions, what they were, what you wanted to be. They make interesting reading.
Dear Nicky, miss you a lot. Well, to be honest, not really too much. I'm keeping busy. Exam results expected any day now. Next week I go for an interview at BMC Longbridge. It's odd, it's not a job I want, but evidently I have to be standing on the first rung before making the leap upwards. Last weekend went to the motor show in London with the lads. The new S-type Jaguar, and I sat in it and said, "This is for me." One day, very soon, I'm bloody going to have it. I think that life really comes down to wanting things enough. That's the drive, and that's what's going to put me in the driving seat of that Jaguar. Bloody hell.
How is she? Oh, progress, we think. She came round, she spoke a little. Fingers crossed time. Afraid I can't be more specific. But it's always in the lap of the gods. Now, Tom, I'm a bit concerned about your father.
Me too.
I gave him some pills, like tranquilizers, but he says he won't take them. Perhaps you can put a bit of pressure on him, eh?
Right.
How is it done?
Oh, she said a few words. I told her you were here. She seemed pleased. Got a bit of colour, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, don't feel you have to hang around.
The doctor says you ought to take a pill and get some relaxation.
Oh, well, that's just them, ain't it? Doctors, pill for this, pill for that. I don't need that pills.
Yeah, well, I can sit with it, you know.
No. No, it's my job to be here with her. Take no umbrage, I prefer to do it alone.
Right, well, I'll go back to the house then.
Oh, Jared called by. He left a message. He said to tell you to see on the bridge about 4:15.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Just wanted to chat.
Well, it's a bit early for pubs. Do you feel like a breath of air?
Tall Lake.
Sure Lake it is.
You know, I used to fish here. Cycle up every weekend. Get away from the house for a bit. Fish and fantasize. I was going to be the greatest racing driver in the world. Mike Hawthorne, eat your heart out. It's amazing how long that fantasy lasted. I was 16 or 17.
Oh, aye.
I was resisting your advice even then. You were preaching, get your O-levels, get your A-levels. I'd be thinking quietly, what's the point? Next stop, Spa, Le Mans. I've always had this quiet little voice inside me, always resisting advice. Bloody nuisance. I'm actually looking for advice, it's still there, chuntering away. Dad called me and told me Mary was ill. One of the first things I thought was, well, when I get up there, at least I'll be able to see you.
Oh, aye.
You're the biggest influence in my life, Gerald. There was one thing I really wanted to talk to you about.
Always ready to listen, Tom.
Well, I'm coming up 40. 12 months' experience as a social worker behind me, but I'm not qualified. I've got a chance to go to college in Dover for 2 years, get my certificate of qualification in social work, CQSW.
Yes?
Dover's 300 miles from Hartley. I'll be away from Jean for long periods. 300 miles is a bit far for a trip home at the weekend.
So?
I don't trust my capacity to make decisions anymore. In the past, I always made decisions, well, right or wrong. I approached them rationally. Now, reason says a future as a professional in the social services is crazy. Instinct says take it, go to Dover, get qualified. I don't know how to analyse that instinct. Don't know if I can trust it.
You really want my advice?
Yes.
The fact that you're talking about this in an emotional way says you're further along the road with your decision than just an instinct to do it. You're looking for you're looking for something more than just a qualification. You're looking for an answer to what is so far a highly disorganized existence.
Maybe.
More than maybe. And you're only halfway there when you make your decision. The rest is down to the single-mindedness to see it through. And on the basis of your track record so far, Tom, that's going to be your bigger problem.
Bentham?
Aye?
Inspector Darby.
But I can't break off work. We've got a big export order on, which is bloody rare enough. I've got to check this stop for cutting room.
Please go ahead.
On phone, you said it was David you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So, what's on your mind?
We think very highly of David.
Aye.
We think he has potential. He's good at his work. Or rather, was good at his work. Lately, something's happened and he seems very preoccupied.
Any of this to do with me?
He's told me things aren't happy at home.
Oh, came gossiping to you about my home, did he?
You may not think I have a right to ask David questions about his home life, Mr. Bentham, but if his work is suffering as a result of some domestic crisis, then I must. Your stepson's told me they've been rows at home.
Has he?
He says he doesn't really understand what they're about, and he didn't think he'd be able to get to the bottom of them. I'm asking you if I can help.
There's nothing to be done, miss. I feel an outsider in my own home.
Could you explain what you mean by that, Mr. Bentham?
Are you interested in my point of view?
Yes.
I met and courted Mary Gallagher in Glasgow, a widow of 10 years standing. And when I married her, I didn't realise that mother and son were inseparable. That where she went, he went. Do you understand that?
I know that David's father died when he was young. All his life he must have been very close to his mother.
It's all right when he's on shift. When he's home for the evening, I come home after a full day's work, and I want a quiet night with the wife. And the table's laid for 3, and he's sitting in front of my TV set. And him and his mother have already worked out what channels are to be watched that night. I feel an interloper, so I go out for a drink with my mates.
I sympathise with you, Mr. Bentham.
You do?
You got a point. I think we shall both have to talk to David.
Hello?
Tom? Eric Maitland here.
Oh, hello, Doctor.
I've been trying to get hold of you. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. Your stepmother passed away half an hour ago. There was nothing we could do. I'm very sorry.
Is my father there?
Yes.
Well, I'll be along right away, Doctor.
So sorry, Dan.
George. They'll want to take her away.
No, I'll be with her as long as I can. She opened her eyes, you know, I thought. And she just went.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Look, I don't want him getting morbid sitting there all day. I'll tell him he must go and have a cup of tea with you in the tea bar.
Yes, I'll wait it. Thought you might fancy a cup of tea, Dad.
On the way home.
Can I get you a beer, Dad?
I've got to make the funeral arrangements. See Mr. Evans?
Now, look, I can do all that for you, Dad.
No, I do that for Mary. Not a stranger.
Oh, that's it. I'm a stranger.
Well, aren't you?
Look, I think I've had about enough of this, Dad. I mean, It may not be the most appropriate time to have this out, but... Well, I can't find any moment when the barriers are down and we can communicate.
What do you want? I mean, you've already worked it out. I'm worth a Christmas card and a phone call on my birthday to check that I'm alive. I want out from you. What do you want from me? You go your own way, whatever that may be. You know, I don't even know who the hell you are anymore.
Do you ever know, Dad?
All I do know is you didn't make much of your life. Fine brain, fine start in life, leading to note.
Now, can we just get this thing settled now, once for all?
Oh,
Now, come on,
don't.
just once and for all. I'm going to say it, Dad. Well, ever since my mum died, you seem to have had it in for me. I've tried, God knows I've tried to get you to show some signs that you, well, just have any feeling for me. Everybody in Britain says what a great bloke you are. Generous and thoughtful for others, but you've never shown it to me.
You're a hard judge.
I'm sorry, Dad, no. No. Well, that's my problem. I'm a weak judge. You say I've got this great intelligence. Have I? Well, Nicky Taylor gave me back some letters that I wrote years ago. They've all been wrong. I'm not a brilliant high hopes future captain of industry. I was an idiot. The only thing I wanted in life was a brand new Jaguar car.
Well, you certainly didn't get that.
No, I didn't. I bloody didn't, no. No, I'll tell you what I did get, though. I'll tell you how I used my intelligence. I used it to work out what I don't need, what I don't want. I don't want money, I don't want possessions, I don't want public approval. I think this society's so rotten, only a fool would spend a lifetime trying to make it, getting on. Well, I reject it. I'm after basic values. I love my wife. We try to make each other happy. This trip home has been very important to me, Dad. I always used to think I wasn't committed enough in my life, but talking to you and Gerald and Nicky, I realise I've made quite a bit of progress down the years. I'm very sorry about Mary. I just hope that one day there'll be some miracle and just get to understand each other just a bit better, Dad.
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Mum?
Oh, yes, David. Come in, sit down. I had a chat with your stepfather yesterday, over at the mill.
Did you, Mum?
I try not to be an interfering busybody, David. When there's something affecting your work here, I must look into it. Understood?
Yes, Mum.
Your stepfather says that when he comes home in an evening, your mother's laid the table for 3, you and she have decided the night's telly, he feels an outsider in his own home.
But it's my mother that wants all these things. She asked me to come down here. She insists on cooking for me, and she wants to watch telly with me.
Then I think you're going to have to be a bit more forceful, David, and make certain things clear to her. It's time to cut the apron strings and become independent. And she's got to learn not to be so dependent on you. You're neither of you being fair to this poor man. You've both of you got to give him a chance. All right?
Yeah.
Now, are you short of money, David?
No.
Well, why not start looking for a flat of your own? Make your own life. It's not an order, just forceful advice. All right?
Yes, Mum.
That's it. Off you go.
Thank you.
Oh, and David, practice your dance steps, go out and get a girlfriend, and enjoy life. And that is an order.
Thank you, Mum.
Have we got any garden shears, Dad?
In tool shed.
Right.
What do you want them for?
Well, it's no criticism of you, but, well, my mum's grave is a bit untidy. I thought I'd just clean it up a bit. All right.
Tom.
Yes, Dad?
Don't matter.
Right, well, I'll be about an hour, eh?
Good grief.
I've caught you at it.
You're here? How?
I'm going back on Wednesday for the funeral.
Is it right to leave you, Dad?
Yeah, it's all right. Seriously, friends are better for him than me.
Didn't work out.
No.
Depressed?
Bit. Well, at least I made up my mind about Dover. Going to apply for the job.
I'm glad. We'll make it work. We'll do it.
Sure?
Yes. Now, how about something to eat?
What have we got?
Not here, out. I'll get changed. I can be ready in 10 minutes. You get yourself unpacked.
Yes, yeah.
Come on, cheer up. Dover's the biggest decision you're going to make this decade. Let's be happy about it.
You're on.